I'm the Lonely Necron, and welcome to my basement. So I'll never personally own a seraptek heavy construct. And it's real unlikely that I'll ever see one in person. I've seen a lot of pictures on the internet. I think I've seen one video where a guy unboxed it. I'll never own one. I do, however, own the 8th edition, sheet for it, so that's something. I rediscovered this, I don't know, a week ago maybe, and thought, well, I'm sure I've got something I can proxy in for this. Because a long, long time ago, I proxied in a stuffed animal that was pretty big, but all of my stuffed animals are superbly big now, so they're not going to work. But I do have a model that I'm going to proxy as the seraptek heavy construct, and it's going to fight the two knights, not together, one at a time, because I'm curious. And yeah, it should be a good time. Alright, so I know this looks like a zombie dragon thing from AOS, but I swear to you, it's a seraptek heavy construct. It's the biggest model I got. Ish. Alright, so it's the biggest non-40k model I got that I figure I could reasonably proxy in, so we'll just pretend. I got the sheet, that's what's important. It could just be a big giant cardboard box, really. But the likelihood of me ever actually playing with this guy, pretty slim, so he might as well get some time out in the world. Alright, so we're going to put a Knight Castellan and then a Knight Desecrator up against this guy. I'm pretty sure the Knight Desecrator is going to do a good job. The Knight Castellan might do a good job, but he's all ranged. He has just his legs for melee, as opposed to the Reaper Chainsword that the Desecrator has. So I've got faith in the Desecrator. I've got a little bit of faith in the Castellan, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Alright, you guys are going to play on a 3x6 swath of my table. Half of it, in fact, now that I think about it. No terrain, just one guy at one end, another guy at the other end, and we'll see who comes out at the end. So first up, we'll do the Castellan. Alright, so here on the far right side of the table, we have the seraptek heavy construct. On the other end, we have the Knight Castellan. The seraptek won 3 out of 3 rolls to see who goes first. So, he gets to go first. Yeah, I think we are actually going to move him, so let's see how far he goes. So, for a Titanic Necron unit, that thing goes 16 inches. I mean, yeah, it goes like 12 at its middle bracket, but the model itself has got to be like twice that size, I think. I mean, it's a lot bigger than that thing, so a Titanic going 16 inches is just nuts. Nuts. I think the Desecrator only goes 12. Alright, well, no psychers for Necrons ever, for any reason, just because, so shooting phase. So at the beginning, for the intro, I neglected to mention that I had replaced his original thing with the singularity generators. No, I replaced the singularity generators with synoptic obliterators and the transdimensional projectors. And using the two synaptic obliterators, did 12 damage to the Knight Castellan, putting it down to 16 from across. Yeah, from basically 5 feet away, 4.5 feet. That big crease in front of the dragon is 4 feet. That was crazy. Alright, well, that'll make it the Wounded Knight Castellan's turn. Alright, so the Wounded Castellan, who is still in his top bracket, Moved forward his 10. His 10. His 10 inches, just so he can get within the 4-foot range of the majority of his guns, which he is now going to shoot off in a glorious blast of just fire and death upon this construct. Alright, this might be a faster game than I thought. So the Knight Castellan actually did 26 points of damage. Granted, most of that came from the Volcano Lance. I think 3d3 damage is no fucking joke. Oh my god. Like 18 points of damage just from that. Alright, well it didn't die, and it is its turn, so let's see if it can do anything. Oh, as a funny aside, I guess, the Plasma Decimator on this guy, I always supercharge it because he's got 28 wounds. Why would you not? And he did actually take 1 wound from rolling a 1 for the plasma gun, which is always funny. Yeah. Alright, yeah. So yeah, seraptek heavy construct. What can it do for the probable last round here? Will it do the 15 damage needed to kill this thing? We'll see. So we'll see if it goes anywhere. Anyway, movement. So after having done the measurements, there's no need to move this guy. We'll just shoot with the seraptek obliterators. Hopefully we roll really, really well. Alright, well in the lowest bracket he needs a 5 to hit. So nothing hit. He didn't roll a single actual hit, so he's probably gonna die during the Castellan's turn. Castellan sees no need to move since he's within his 4-foot decently good, you don't want to get within melter range distance, so we're just gonna do his shooting phase. He's probably gonna blow up on the first thing, which is the Plasma Decimator, which would be even funnier. Alright, so yeah, hilariously enough, it was indeed the Plasma Decimator that killed the construct, and he took 2 points of damage from rolling 1s to hit for that. No need to even roll for the rest of the weapons. Sadly, the construct rolled a 3 on the explosion roll, so it didn't even explode. But it is what it is. Alright. A reset, and we're gonna do the Knight Desecrator. That one will probably be not as fast since he only has the 1 really long gun, and it doesn't do as much damage. So perhaps the proxy construct has a chance this time. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so I've reset. Proxy construct on this side, the right side. Knight Desecrator on the far left side. Once again, during the roll-off, because I always roll 3 times. Necron's won 3 out of 3, so construct gets to move first, so he's going to move his massively amazing 16 inches forward. I just can't get over that. Alright, well, that puts him just slightly before the fold, because he goes 16 inches. Yeah, so he's just going to shoot his seraptek obliterators at the Knight Desecrator. Hopefully we'll be able to shoot better this time. I mean, hitting on a 3 is a lot better than hitting on a 5, so... Well, only one of those shots actually managed to wound this guy, putting him down to 22. That will make it his turn. He's not really the big, ginormous gun platform that the Castellan is, and I always have wondered if the Imperial Knights are all of that, you know, all the weapons and craziness and all that, and the Chaos Knights are basically Imperial Knights turned to Chaos. What happened to all the guns? Movement first, though. Alright, well, he's getting closer to the construct. He has a ginormous chainsword that he wants to put to use on the proxy construct over there, so couple more, well, really all the construct has to do is move once, and he moves once, and then just charges in, but that'll be here in a second. We are going to do a shooting phase, because he does have the laser destructor. Alright, he only managed to wound with one of the shots from the laser destructor, but it did max damage, so 6 damage to the construct, so they're both at 22 right at the moment. It's the construct's turn though, so his movement phase with his colossal movement. Alright, so 16 inches gets him way up there. Close enough so that his 2-foot range guns are now in range, so shooting phase. We're going to shoot with everything now and not just the synaptic obliterator. Well, one of the synaptic obliterators actually wounded him, putting the knight down to 16, so that's something at least. Still too far away to charge for the moment. But that will make it the knight's turn. So, movement. Alright, he's a whole lot closer now. He's definitely going to charge when we get to that. We're going to do shooting first though. Can actually use the heavy bolter now. Or no, the heavy stubber. Heavy stubber, laser destructor, charge in, chain sword, yeah, hopefully swinging wide, we'll see. I can only hope that Chaos is trying to impress me or something, because it completely failed with all of its shooting attacks. Didn't hit a single thing. I can only assume that it plans on doing some sort of crazy charge in deal where it just murders the shit out of the proxy. It's gonna try and charge in, of course. There will be Overwatch, and yeah, if it makes the charge, survives Overwatch, and doesn't kill it, it'll get attacked back. So I anticipate an epic Titanic battle here, momentarily. Alright, well, he very much failed to charge. He rolled a 2. It was super terrible. But in his defense, and happily enough, the proxy failed to wound anything. He actually hit 4 times with the transdimensional projector, but the ion shield managed to save the knight. But it is the proxy's actual turn, so it's probably not going to fail to charge. So we'll do a pretty quick movement phase to get it far enough away to shoot and close enough to make the charge. Yeah, we'll do that right now, in fact. Alright, he's an inch and an eighth away. That should be far enough. Alright, so yeah, shooting phase it is. Let's light this knight up from point blank range, essentially, and probably miss every shot like a good little Necron. Playing like their Imperial Guard. Alright, well, the Synaptic Obliterators did not let me down. They did 12 points of damage total to the knight, putting it down to 4. And yeah, this guy's definitely going to charge in there. So, alright, well, Seraptek Heavy Construct Proxy made it in, survived Overwatch, and then completely murdered the knight with the Impaling Strike. Kind of like Overkill actually did 18 points of damage to a guy that only had 4 health left. In D&D, he would have been a puddle in any way that, you know, a big gigantic metal thing could become a puddle. He'd have been a puddle. So yeah, that's one knight down and one knight not down. I do have 2 more guys to go. One more actual dude and then like a group of dudes. Like I'm gonna put this guy up against a Baneblade, and then put him up against like a group of some heavy Tyranids that I have laying around. So yeah, If you made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it, especially when I do weird experimental shit involving models I don't actually own. Yeah, this will probably be the only video like this. Like, all the other videos following this and before this will be... I mean, yeah, I proxy shit in all the time, but I tend to own the shit that I'm proxying in. I just, again, like I said, I found the sheet and was like, oh, this actually might be interesting, so even though I don't own it, here we go. So yeah, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day.